Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you guys finally my recap for my prenatal weekend. So I've done weekend 1, which was prenatal and pelvic floor health, and then weekend 2, which was Thai massage, couples yoga, and labor and delivery. So I have so much to share with you guys, so much to talk about. There's so much happening. So be sure to like this video, subscribe down below if you guys want to join the Sharway crew, and of course send any comments my way because I'd love to hear from you guys. And without further ado, let's dive into pre and postnatal weekends. Of course, caffeine is a must before we dive in because I am super asleep. And as you guys know, I usually try to film Sunday mornings. So Sunday I'm like super sleepy. Today is Saturday morning, surprisingly. So not that it really matters, but that's okay. So I started my prenatal yoga training. I like zoom it really far in. So I started my prenatal yoga training the end of September. So it runs for 3 months. So 1 month, 1 weekend a month basically. So September, October, and November. So I'll be a certified registered yoga prenatal teacher in November, which is really exciting, and I'm making some plans to start teaching prenatal classes starting in the new year, so stay tuned for that. So I started the first weekend, so I'll give you guys a little bit of a backstory. So obviously if you've been following my channel and following me for a while, you know that I did my yoga training the first half of the year, so January to June, and then I did like a 1-day prenatal training in my yoga training to learn just kind of like the gist of it, and I thought it was the most cool experience ever. Like I was just in awe of like how difficult it is to move in pregnancy and how much safety there is around pregnancy. Like even in the first trimester, like I always had the theory that I would continue to do yoga if I ever felt pregnant, and I would just like not even worry about it. But you shouldn't even be doing twists or belly down, anything, even in your first trimester. So it's really interesting to like understand more about this. So I decided I was going to do my prenatal training. It was almost as much as my regular training, so I spent a lot of money this year on training, and I spent a lot of the year in training, which has been great, but it's also extremely hard because it's a lot of self-work and a lot of diving into like your challenging yourself to really like deepen yourself. So overall, so the first weekend was prenatal, so we learned about safe yoga poses for pregnant women and all of the poses that you can do, so we know how to safely cue a class and put a class together. So that was really interesting. There's some poses I would never even think that you could actually do pregnant, but apparently you can totally do some of these things. So it's a little bit shocking, but it's also really cool. And there's so much to learn about your own body, and I think that's probably the coolest part about the entire prenatal weekend was that we learned all about the pelvis and like the hips and everything, and how the hips and the pelvis, people always confuse those two areas, how the baby enters the pelvis and comes down, and different birthing positions for delivering babies. So we learned all about the pelvic floor muscles, the pelvis itself, how it all kind of functions and what happens in every phase of pregnancy and delivery. And then we learned like I said, about how you can deliver your baby in different positions. You can actually lay on your side or be on all four. So there's so many cool things about like being more conscious of your body. And I think the whole intention with being a prenatal yoga instructor is to have so many tools in my toolkit. And like, not that I'm a doctor or like a doula by any means, but we learn so much that we can share in our prenatal classes, and that's the intention, is to have the education to be able to be like, hey, actually you can deliver this way if laying on your back does not feel like an anatomical way to deliver your baby. And technically it's really dangerous to be laying on your back because of the compression against the sacrum. It actually can cause your sacrum and coccyx to be compressed during labor, so it can actually cause damage there. So there's just a lot of things, and I don't know how far you guys want me to get into the detail of what I've learned. There's just so much cool stuff, so much interesting facts about the woman's body and what our body does. It's really been mind-blowing. Like I was sitting there the first weekend like, oh my god, this is actually real, like what's happening? Like I can't even believe the things that I was learning about having a baby. So there's a fun fact for you that you don't actually have to push for hours and hours. So you hear about women pushing and bearing down for such a long time, and they're putting so much strain on their pelvic floor. And there's just like, if you look up some studies on it, you can see that there was people that have actually delivered babies unconscious, like they've been like under coma and stuff like that. So your body is designed to, the contractions push the baby into the pelvis and allow the baby to start crowning. And then that is the only time that you actually need to start pushing. So it only takes a handful of pushes to actually get the baby from crowning to out. So just the Western world is so amazing in so many ways, but there's also a lot of alternative ways to be doing things that they don't teach us and they don't share with us. So it's all about knowing and understanding your options and making the best choice you have at the time that you have it. So there's no right or wrong way to do anything. It's just a whole understanding around like what your options might be. So it was really eye-opening. It was really cool to even understand this. And there's only probably a handful of us, like 4 of us, that are not mothers in the room. Everyone else has kids. So I feel like a lot of people feel very robbed of their experience after learning what we learned this weekend. I think a lot of women feel very like robbed, that they want to like have a redo because they weren't aware of these things and were aware of these options that they could have with their body. So I think that's a huge part of like, I'm such an empowerment for women, and I love to empower people to change their lives. And I feel like if I can do that in a prenatal class and teach women that they have options and that they can understand more about their body to make a more conscious decision, then I think that is like such a gift. So it's just a whole other part of my brand and what's becoming the Char Way and everything that I'm doing. So it's really, really exciting. So that was the prenatal weekend. And then the second weekend was Thai massage. So we learned to like Thai massage and like do some like pressure points on the feet. And then we did couples yoga. So like mom and dad yoga or partner yoga, which was kind of a cool experience. I'm not sure if I'm going to teach couples yoga. I don't know if it's really my jam. I want to get like the prenatal and postnatal off the ground. Doing the couples yoga isn't really my thing, and I find that men can be like really stupid around stuff like that. No offense, men, but like men can kind of get a little bit like, oh, I don't want to be here, and I just don't like that energy. I don't know if I want to deal with that. So we will see. I'm not sure yet. Well, it's kind of like up in the air, but yeah, so I learned all of that. We learned about like the labor and delivery, the different stages of delivery and whatnot. So yeah, there was a lot of interesting stuff to learn, a lot of facts to learn. So it's been a pretty mind-blowing experience. Yeah, I really don't have anything bad to say. I'm just not keen on the couples yoga. It wasn't really my thing, but yeah, overall, I think that there's just more tools to learn and more stuff to learn. So I'm moving into postnatal is the end of November. So I'll be doing my postnatal weekend. So that will be all about after baby's born, the care on your body afterwards. And I'm assuming what happens to your pelvic floor afterwards. And like, I'm not really sure what that entails, but there's definitely a lot of stuff to learn. So I'm excited. I'm gonna just keep striving through the training, and I'm excited for the postnatal weekend, but I'm also very excited to be done training because I feel like I spent the whole year in training and I feel like very exhausted by just constant stuff. So I'm really excited to be done and to start plugging away in my brand and getting it off the ground, running prenatal programs. So lots of exciting stuff coming up. No, I'm not pregnant, for the FYI, because I know everybody's probably clicked on this video just because of the picture, but that's just the bellies that we wear for practicing prenatal yoga. But no, I'm not pregnant. I'm not doing this because I'm pregnant. I am just purely doing this because I'm excited about it. And I think it's an amazing thing that women don't understand how much there is to understand about their body. And I think that if I can be a part of that, then that's huge. So that's basically all I have to share with you guys. I think I need to continue drinking caffeine because I've been rambling for like 10 minutes and I'm certainly not awake, but yeah, I think that's it, you guys. Be sure to like this video, subscribe down below, join the Char Way crew. And check out my Instagram. I will link it here. I post on that all the time. So lots to see, lots of Instagrams and all of that kind of stuff. And with all of that said, you guys, I hope you have an amazing day. Take care. I'll talk to you very soon in the next video, of course. Bye, guys.